Hello, this is Dr. Justin Pierce. I'm here with Dr. Donald Miller, and we are with Mill Pond Integrative Health and Wellness Center, and today we want to talk about the unsweetened facts about artificial sweeteners.
Man,
They're
artificial
crazy.
sweeteners, it is crazy. And the sad thing is nobody knows. Nobody knows. So guys, if you're watching this video, hit the share button now because this information is so needed out there. I mean, these are artificial sweeteners. Artificial is the big part of that. Chemicals.
Artificial. Yeah, well, the thing is, though, especially the diabetics watching, they know how good these are.
Yeah.
Because these things are great for you guys. You got to understand the AMA, the Medical Association, the doctors, they tell you how great these things are for you because they're 0 calorie and there's no sugar. And I think we can agree that sugar is bad for diabetes and heart disease, and we've talked about those things. Yet the other day we talked about sugar being good for you.
Right.
Right. So you might have to go back and look at that.
Go back and tune in.
But again, your doctors tell you how great these things are for you.
Yep.
And that is absolutely false. Although it keeps them in business pretty good.
It does. And the thing is the only reason that they're telling you to consume these is because it doesn't cause an initial glucose spike.
That's right.
I mean, that's what they say. Okay? And so let's break down what these pink and blue and yellow packets are made of. So the main artificial sweeteners, we're seeing dextrose, we're seeing maltodextrin, sucralose, not to be confused with sucrose. Okay, sucrose is table sugar.
Correct.
Right, which is glucose and fructose. We talked about that on Wednesday. But sucralose, okay, aspartame, and then
stuff.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're going to talk about that. And then the other one is asulfame potassium. It's got potassium in it though, so it sounds good.
It's gotta be good for you. So you had to put some sort of nutrition in there, right?
Right.
But these things are great for burning holes in your brain,
Yeah.
if you like that kind of thing. But in all seriousness, that's literally what they do.
I mean, literally.
This was chemical warfare.
Yeah, I mean they're known neurotoxins.
Known
Carcinogens. They've got all these side effects that are attached to these chemicals, but yet aspartame is in over 6,000 foods and drinks.
Unbelievable.
What really shocks me, that I didn't realize, it's in over 500 medications, this sweetener. And so it's a sweetener that's associated with obesity, with headaches and mood swings. There's all kinds of metabolic disorders. There's studies actually showing that women that are pregnant or breastfeeding that consume aspartame, it dramatically increases the risk of that baby developing metabolic disorders and obesity later on in life.
Amazing.
And again, this is something that's in over 500 medications that I can guarantee you if you're taking a medication, it's probably in one of yours.
I had a patient not too long ago and taking care of her for a while and adjusting her spine and doing everything and trying to get rid of sugar in her diet and getting rid of inflammation. And she saw good results, but she just couldn't get rid of this pain right here. And it was this nagging pain, and it started to travel down her arm. Nothing worked for her. Are you doing something you're not telling me? She's like, well, I drink these diet Snapples.
Yeah.
Diet peach Snapple, a couple every single day. Hello? Maybe you should stop doing that.
Yeah.
And so she stopped doing that within 2 days. Oh, doc, guess what? It's gone. I said, well, yeah, that stuff causes chronic pain. So you want to talk about fibromyalgia?
Yeah.
This might set up for what we're going to talk about next week. We are going to be talking about fibromyalgia and really the ins and outs and what it really is. What the hell is it?
I know, and just chronic pain in general.
Get rid of this stuff and watch how amazing you feel. Again, we talk about this all the time. You could literally just do the things and the tips that we share on these Facebook videos with you and probably get better.
Yeah.
If you just start making changes.
And you guys, you got to read because when you do research and you look at dextrose, when you look it up, they say it's the same chemical makeup as glucose or blood sugar.
Right.
Well, what's wrong with that? Well, dextrose comes from corn. And corn is the second most genetically modified food we have. So guys, when we talk about genetically modified foods, they have basically modified a food to where corn can grow without water. Right? Corn can grow without water. And that's one of the reasons why they're genetically modifying, chemically modifying these foods so that they don't need to use water to grow this not even, you can't even call it food.
No.
You can't call it food.
But side note, I could use a plant that I wouldn't kill because I kill all my plants that we have in our house. So if there's a plant that didn't need water, I could probably grow that one, but that's a side note. But anyways, and Sue, we look at like artificial sweeteners, and because some people are saying like, well, I don't really do artificial sweeteners because I don't really do sugar, and they're like, yeah, well, I hear that all the time. But like, what is it found in? How about your kids? You wonder why ADD and ADHD and they can't pay attention in school and all these things. And you go and you look at, if you read the ingredients of your yogurts, of your breads, of your cereals, of your candies, of any diet lights, or the only type of water that you can drink is water zero. Like, well, what do you think's in water zero?
And the way they sell it to you is they tell you there's no calories.
That's right.
Because,
done. Buy it.
Because it's chemicals,
Yep.
right? Chemicals don't have calories.
Yep.
It's just absolutely crazy. I mean, dextrose is used too. I mean, it's used
Yep.
if you go to the hospital and get an IV because you're dehydrated or your sugars are low.
Yep.
They'll also, if you're high in potassium, because when sugar goes from your blood into the cells, it pulls potassium with it. So if you're high in potassium,
Yep.
let's shove some dextrose into your system that's made from corn that's going to be very inflammatory just to help get your potassium levels down. Well, guys, your potassium levels are high for a reason. So instead of finding out why your potassium levels are high and addressing the underlying cause, we're going to give you a chemical-based sweetener that's going to help to temporarily reduce the potassium levels. Again, guys, it's just so narrow-minded thinking. I mean, it's just so temporary relief. In emergency, okay, your sugars are so low and you need to get something in your system, fine. But like, grab a fruit, grab an orange or something like that. Because guys, the main thing about these is just they're processed.
Yep.
So even though it's the same chemical makeup as glucose, the way that it's processed is just terrible for you.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, do you want some tea with that yellow, green, blue packet? You see people just pouring it. It's unbelievable to me. So, and you also got to be very careful. And they talk about reading ingredients because now these companies are coming out with things like green packets, right? And this is from Starbucks actually. This is stevia and monk fruit. But if you look on the back of it, it's got fructose in it and a couple other things. It's not just pure stevia. Doing pure stevia is okay, and we'll get to like some of the good things that you can use. But you got to be very careful, and even how they label things like sweet leaf or not. Sweet leaf's a good one. Whatever it is, stevia on the raw, I think is what it is. And
it's a good one.
It's got maltodextrin, and it's got other ones in it.
Yeah.
You just gotta learn to read the ingredients.
Two that you absolutely want to stay away from is sucralose and aspartame. Okay, not that dextrose and maltodextrin are good.
And acylfame potassium, again, another one too. And they change the names of these things all the time so they can try to trick you. Just like they were doing with high fructose corn syrup or just corn sugar or making those things so that, I mean, they're putting in millions and millions of dollars in advertising to make you think that it's okay in moderation.
Yeah, I mean, the sucralose, it sounds just like sucrose, and that's why a lot of people get tricked with that.
Yeah.
And it's very similar, except they take a hydrogen-oxygen group and replace that with chlorine.
Oh,
with chlorine.
That's cool. I can swim my water without having to add more chlorine in it.
Yeah, it'll kill the algae.
Yeah, it'd be good.
So I mean, guys, literally, I mean, they're taking a completely natural part of sucrose and replacing it with chlorine because it's still sweet, right? But it's a chemical, so it's low calorie, cheaper.
Money.
200 times as sweet, 10 times as cheap.
Yep.
So they need a lot less of it, and it's cheaper on top of that. Same thing with high fructose corn syrup. It's not an artificial sweetener, but it's just terrible for you.
Yes, it is.
And again, we talked about that on Wednesday. Tune back into that.
Yep.
But yeah, so some good things, and Amanda talked a little bit about this on Tuesday. But guys, xylitol and stevia, this is what we recommend for our patients to sweeten their stuff with. Again, these are both way sweeter than sugar, so you need a lot less, and so always add less and go more if you need it. But stevia comes in a powder and a liquid. Powder's usually better for baking. Liquid's good for putting in your drinks and things like that. And xylitol, a sugar alcohol, right? This stevia comes from the stevia plant, completely natural. Xylitol is a sugar alcohol, very, very easy for your body to process.
Now, a couple of things. One thing about xylitol is xylitol from tree bark. Wonderful. But then we talk about money and cheapening things.
Yeah.
And now they're bastardizing xylitol because they're taking it from, what do you think? Corn. They're driving xylitol from corn. Exactly. So you have to be very careful with that. And also another thing just to say, I do not like the taste of stevia. Stevia is going to be for somebody who loves these blue packets, who loves these yellow packets, who loves that diet artificial sweetener. I call it that aspartame taste, right?
Nice bitter aftertaste.
That's it. And you know what? If you drink that, or if you drink, you know what we're talking about. Yep. Stevia will mimic that and have that aftertaste. I don't like it. For me, I would use xylitol. Xylitol tastes more like sugar. So somebody who has that sugar craving, use that. Somebody who does the stevia or loves the Splenda, you would use the stevia.
Yeah.
About erythritol.
Erythritol.
Erythritol is okay. Erythritol is okay. It's again, that's another sugar alcohol.
It's a sugar alcohol.
It's gonna be easier for you to find.
It's just like xylitol.
It's just like xylitol. It's just gonna be easier to find the xylitol. Erythritol you'll see in some other, in some foods.
Exactly.
But again, it's okay. It's okay. Yep.
Sure thing. So what else we got for him?
Do you have an herb that doesn't help you not have sweet cravings?
Yeah, that's a good point. Gymnema's really good for that. Gymnema's really good for, see that our country, our society doesn't like bitter.
Right.
Bitter's not really a big part of our diets.
No.
And there's a lot of research, especially in Chinese medicine,
Yes.
that says by stimulating the bitter taste buds, it's very, very beneficial for your body. And so that's why, like, just in general, regardless of the specific things we talk about herbs being good for, it's just good to consume herbs because it really stimulates that bitterness in your system.
That's right.
But Genema in particular what it'll do is we have our patients hold it in their mouth, especially diabetics, because it has a lot of good beneficial aspects as far as stimulating production of insulin and the pancreatic function. But it'll really help so you don't like sweet, which is awesome.
Yes.
Especially if you're addicted, because is sugar addictive?
Sugar is addictive. And don't think for a second that we don't like sugar.
Right.
We choose not to eat sugar because we know that it causes inflammation and leads to heart disease and cancers and sickness and takes us away from our calling, takes us away from our family, takes us away from the things that we were put on this earth to do. Absolutely. So we choose to not eat it, and we choose to make the better decisions and use the xylitols and use honeys and use things like that are good sweeteners and taste just as sweet.
Yep.
But they just don't kill you, you know, and that's the thing. So.
You gotta be careful.
Yep. And again, you guys, they're just like Doc said, man, it's like, come on, everybody likes their sweets. But again, small changes you can make. I want to get cancer. I want to see my kids as kids. I want to be around. And guys, that's your why. Like, I like what you said. You said a video a long time ago. And say it again. Said something about, like, nothing ever tastes as good.
Yes.
How do you say it?
They said, nothing tastes as good as being able to spend time with my family.
Right.
Like, nothing tastes as good as feeling as good as I do. And so make that decision. You can feel like garbage because of what you eat, or you can feel great because of what you eat. You got to make those decisions.
Because let me just read off some of these things. These are known side effects of aspartame. And some of the other things, but known headaches, migraines, mood disorders, dizziness, episodes of mania, right? So manic depressive, right? So bipolar, it's going to really stimulate those manic episodes. It's known to really hang out in your liver, your kidneys, and your brain.
Those are good spots.
So chemicals are known to hang out in your liver, your kidneys, and your brain. So your liver and your kidneys are your detox headquarters, right? Especially liver. The brain controls everything in your body. And so again, that's why we say it's a known neurotoxin.
Right.
It's hanging out in there, causing destruction, leading to things like dementia and Alzheimer's, just brain deterioration.
You wonder why it's on the rise, because all this no-fat, zero-calorie movements have come, and not to mention flu shots and vaccinations and drugs and medications. Again, we don't have to go off on that tangent by any means today.
Right.
I don't know what time it is. We don't have enough time for that one. But just make better choices, make better decisions, stick with stevia, stick with xylitol, and you will see amazing changes just in that itself.
Mentor once told me, if you want to be successful, take a 180-degree turn from the masses and walk away.
That's right.
Everybody is doing the wrong thing, guys. And if you just do the opposite of what everybody else is doing, you will be way less chance of getting heart disease, cancer, and diabetes.
That's
right? Love that statement. Can't never did nothing. So, just keep going, make the right choices, guys.
Happy Friday. We appreciate you guys. Like this page, share this page, tag somebody who needs this, and make sure you stay tuned in for next week, as we are going to be talking about fibromyalgia.